You'll train them yourselves. You'll feed them yourselves. And if they die, you'll bury them yourselves.
The other day I was rewatching Game of Thrones and I came across this scene, and once again, it blew my mind. Because this scene is so layered, so masterfully written that everything that would take seasons to happen is already buried there. Every time I come back, I see something I missed before. Every season I finish makes it even better. And then I remembered something that makes it even more fascinating. This was the very first thing George Martin ever wrote for the entire story. Back then, he didn't know what the story was about. He didn't even know who these characters were. And yet somehow the whole story poured out of him into this scene.
It was a scene that haunted me, and I wrote it in like 3 days.
When I say this, I'm not just talking about the obvious stuff. 6 pups for 6 children, yes, we get it. What I mean is the kind of thing that blows your mind once you know how it all ends. As always, I'll talk about all of these things in detail, and I think by the end of this video, you'll never watch it the same way again. First things first, though. Let's start with the beginning. This scene takes place right after Ned Stark executes a deserter from the Night's Watch. And as the Stark family rides back home, they stumble upon a dead direwolf that has been killed by a stag. I mean, even then, it feels like the world around them had been waiting for this moment all along, like it has finally found its chance to tell them something. And this is exactly where everything begins.
There are no direwolves south of the wall.
Now there are 5.
First of all, just look at Robb's reaction. At first glance, it feels like a simple line meant to introduce us to the world. But once you reach the end of the first season, and especially once you've seen how Ned Stark dies, this line changes its meaning entirely. The direwolf isn't supposed to be this far south of the wall, and yet there she is, lying dead on the ground. Now think of the direwolf as Ned Stark for a second, because not long after this scene, Ned does exactly what the direwolf did. He goes south, the one place a Stark, a direwolf, was never meant to be. And just like her, he dies there. And here's the thing, the direwolf may be dead, but the stag is dead too. They killed each other. And when you look at what happens between Ned and Robert, which is a stag, the parallel becomes even more fascinating. Because while Ned dies when Robert calls him south, Ned's choice kills Robert as well.
It wasn't the wine that killed Robert, nor the boar. It was your mercy that killed the king.
Now I want you to look carefully at how the direwolf dies. The stag's antler pierces her throat. And soon enough, Ned will die in exactly the same way, a wound to the neck. And just like her, he leaves his children behind him. But did you notice that the stag leaves no babies behind? Yes, it's because Robert Baratheon leaves no true-born heirs behind.
Smart.
You see, even now, this scene is an absolute masterclass in storytelling and symbolism. But like all great storytelling, it does something even more impressive without drawing attention to itself. In just a few minutes, it shows us Ned Stark's moral code, Jon Snow's character, and even tells us Theon's betrayal of the Starks, long before any of us could see it coming. First, think about Ned Stark. Only moments earlier, he had personally executed a deserter because in his eyes, duty demanded it. And now he's ready to kill all the pups as well. But this time, it's out of mercy.
Where will they go? Their mother's dead.
Better a quick death.
They won't last without their mother.
I mean, think about it, duty and mercy. These are the very same qualities that make Ned the man we know, the same qualities that define him. But they're also the ones that get him killed. It's his duty to the truth that makes him confront Cersei, but it's his mercy toward her innocent children that makes him warn her to flee. And it's all right here in his very first scene.
Please, Father.
I'm sorry, Bran.
And then there's Theon, the one who betrays them. Now just watch him closely.
Right, give it here.
Ned hasn't even given the order, yet Theon is the first one to reach his blade. He's ready to kill the pups. It's almost like he seizes his lord's command and makes it his own, almost like a way to prove his loyalty. But you see, that's exactly where the irony lies, because to carry out that command, Theon actually has to kill the wolves, the very creatures that mirror the Stark children themselves. And one season later, he does it all over again. But this time, it's his father's approval he's chasing. He takes Winterfell, he turns on the very family he grew up beside, and he even tries to murder Stark children. And all of this had been sitting right there in front of us the whole time, stitched into the sigil on his cloak. From this very first scene, the show was quietly telling us the truth. Theon was never one of them, and he never will be.
I saw the youngest of the Greyjoy lads at Winterfell. It was like seeing a shark on a mountaintop.
Now, before we continue, I just want to give a quick shout out and a big thank you to today's sponsor, Displate, because they fit this video so well that I have to talk about them. As you may know, Displate makes metal posters, and now they have a full official Game of Thrones collection. House sigils, character portraits, and even the Iron Throne itself. And it's not just Game of Thrones either. They have over 200 officially licensed collections, including Marvel, Star Wars, The Witcher, Elden Ring, and countless other designs from tens of thousands of independent artists. And if that's not enough, you can even upload your own custom print. The brand shop has pretty much anything you'd want on a wall. And here's the thing, they look way better than a standard poster. You've got 3 finishes to pick from: matte, gloss, and textura, which has actual 3D texture on the metal. And then there's the mounting system, which is probably my favorite part. No drilling, no damage to your walls. You simply attach the magnetic mount, snap the poster into place, and you're done. So if you want to let your fandom shine, use the link in the description or my code to get 22% off 1 displate, 27% off 2, and 33% off 3 or more. Again, huge thanks to Displate for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. And then there's Jon. He barely speaks in this entire scene, but the little he does say tells you everything about him. When the pups are about to be killed, it's Jon who saves them.
The direwolf is a sigil of your house. They were meant to have them.
He counts 5 pups for 5 Stark children, and to make that count work, he quietly leaves himself out of it. But as we learn later, Jon always wanted to be a Stark. He always wanted to carry the name, to belong. And yet here in his very first moment, he's the one who places himself on the outside of it. And that's exactly the same selflessness behind every choice he makes for the rest of the story. Giving up his name, giving up his claim, giving up everything again and again to do the right thing. But of course, there's more to it. Because if you notice, Jon is also the most perceptive one here. He's the first to see the parallel between the pups and the children, and the first to read it as an omen. And if you've read the books, you may know that Martin backs this up in a really beautiful way. In the books, Bran notices that the pups are still blind. Ghost, however, is different. His eyes are already open. When you see it that way, the parallel becomes undeniable. Just like his wolf, Jon sees things more clearly, long before any of his siblings do.
Run to the litter. That one's yours, Snow.
But if you think that's all, you're dead wrong. Because just like Ghost, every one of these wolves is hiding something too. All this time, their names, their natures, and even the way they die were quietly telling us exactly what's to come. I mean, take Bran's wolf first. Bran names him Summer. Even the name itself might be the most ironic of them all, especially when you remember the Stark words. Winter is coming. I mean, think about it. Summer is the season destined to end. It has to die so winter can arrive. And 5 seasons later, Summer dies protecting Bran. But it's not just the wolf dies there, something in Bran dies with him. In that cave, winter has finally come for him. And then there's Lady, Sansa's wolf. She's gentle, beautiful, the sweetest of the litter, just like the girls she belongs to. And it's not a coincidence that she's the first to die, because her death is the death of innocence itself. For Sansa, it's the moment her dreams begin to crack and the world finally shows her what it really is. And remember how she dies. Even if he didn't want to, Ned Stark is the one who takes her life. It almost feels like Ned raises his sword against an omen the old gods laid at his feet and takes a life the North itself sent to him. And from that moment on, everything begins to change for all of them. And if Lady is the loss of innocence, then Nymeria is the opposite. Just as Arya is everything her sister isn't. Nymeria is wild. She won't be leashed, won't be tamed, and neither will Arya. But just 2 episodes later, she has to drive her away, force her out into the wild, because the wild is the only place she can survive. And ironically, that becomes Arya's entire story. Because not long after this scene, she finds herself out there, nameless, surviving alone. And even in the end, neither of them ever truly comes home. And then there's Robb's wolf, Greywind. He's loyal and strong, just like everything Robb is. They march to war side by side, and they never lose on the field. And in the end, they fall the same way, not on the battlefield, but trapped and betrayed. Just like the others, their fates were bound together. And even little Rickon's wolf, Shaggy Dog. He perfectly mirrors how Rickon grows up feral and forgotten in the background of the wars. And then finally, there's Ghost. Out of all 6 pups, he's the one carrying the biggest secret of all. Let's start with the obvious. Just like Jon, Ghost is the one who doesn't fit. And the first time through, we read that the simple way. Jon is the bastard, the one who never quite belonged. But 5 seasons later, we learn the truth. Jon is actually a Targaryen. And the very first hint of it was sitting right there the whole time. Because think about what Ghost actually is. He's an albino, pure white. And I don't even need to remind you that the Targaryens are known for their pale, almost white hair. That white coat isn't just the odd one out. It's Jon's Targaryen blood, hidden in plain sight. But here's the thing, it works both ways, because white is also the color of snow. And against all that white, GoT has one more feature, deep red eyes. I mean, if you really think about it, that's Jon in a single image, fire in his eyes and ice in his veins. But of course it doesn't stop there, because red eyes and a white body resemble one more thing in this world, the weirwoods. When you see it that way, GoT represents every single side of Jon's identity, his Stark upbringing, his Targaryen heritage, and even his connection to the magic of the North. That little pup was already telling us the story. And right at the very end of the scene, after every Stark child already has their pup, that's when Jon finds him. In the books, we're told again and again that GoT never makes a sound, and yet somehow, Jon is the only one who can hear him. I mean, it almost feels like Martin reached through the page, disguised his hand as fate, and told us this was always meant to be. Honestly, I can't even tell you how someone does this. Maybe that's exactly why many writers reach for this word when they try to make sense of it, muse. Because sometimes a story doesn't come from the writer at all. It comes through them. And if that's ever been true for anyone, it was true for Martin here. Because no matter how you look at it, this scene doesn't feel like something he made. It feels like something he found, already finished, already perfect, and already telling us what's to come, long before even the author himself knew it. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a comment, give a like, and click to subscribe. Your support will greatly help the mysterious algorithm notice me. And if you want to support me directly, you can join the channel by clicking the join button. See you next time.